Hello there everybody, how's it going? It's Jessie from Jessie Marie Does Stuff here on FlossTube, and I am coming to you on this Saturday, April 29th, 2023 with my May plans video. So, before I get into everything, welcome everybody. Welcome to both my returning viewers as well as anybody who is new here and checking me out for the first time. Thank you all so very much for pressing play and spending some time with me today. On this channel, I will talk mostly about cross-stitch, though sometimes I talk about books and knitting. Today, it's going to be all stitching. It is all stitching because today we're literally just going to talk about plans. I need to film an update video, but I'd really like to do that after the 1st of May so that I can do some end of April statistics with you and whatnot. And the other thing is that in the interest of time, we're going to do just plans today because I managed to save a lot of my must-dos for the month to like the last 7 days. And so I'm in a race against the clock and I'm trying to stitch as much as I possibly can to try to get my minimum goals accomplished. I'm on the last one and I think it's possible, but I got to get back to stitching as soon as possible. But I did want to share with you what my plans are for May because I have 6 new WIPGO projects that were recently called, and I have my mania or my May to discuss with you. So I'm going to show you those things. This is going to be a mini WIP parade, kind of, sort of. My plans for May. I think I teased about it in an update video already. But I think I mentioned that I was going to do page finish mania, where I'm going to focus on some full coverage pieces and try to get some page finishes. And that is the plan for the first 15 days of the month. So the original mania, the original stitch mania, back in 2015, the idea was 15 days, 15 new starts in each of those 15 days. I just had Startapalooza and I'm not in the mood for starts right now. So I am going to be switching things up and doing things a little bit differently than I have in years past. And I'm going to be working on some full coverage pieces in kind of a snowball kind of a way to try to get some page finishes. So let's get going. Let's look at the full coverage pieces that I have on the docket for May. So the first one I'm going to show you is actually not one that I'm working on for Page Finish Mania, but it is a full coverage piece. I am feeling a little bit of FOMO with a stitch along that is popping up and kind of showing up everywhere. I'm going to put the people who started it, the ladies who started it, I'm going to put them on the screen here, and I'll be sure to link their channels in the description box below. But yeah, I'm feeling some FOMO, and so I'm going to be participating in Manning May Sal. So, as much as I wanted to start a new Carolyn Manning design for this stitch along, I'm going to go with a WIP because I started this for Stitch Mania in 2020, and I haven't worked on it since. And so this is going to get some progress here in the month of May. I'm actually going to make it my Monday project, and I think there are 5 Mondays in May. So this I'm going to work on for each of those 5 Mondays and see how much I can get done. A page finish is going to be a whole quarter of the design, and I don't think that that's possible, but I mean, you never know. But anyway, so I started in 2020 sweater weather from the Shooting Star collection, and I am so excited to get back to this. I haven't worked on it, like I said, since starting it in 2020, and so yeah, I'm geeked. And so thanks y'all for starting up this stitch along and inspiring me to get back to this one. So I am stitching this on a 32 count cream Belfast linen using all of the called for DMC. And here is where I'm starting from. This is fabric that I was using for another piece, but obviously UFO'd and repurposed. So yeah, I've got just the littlest itty bitty start, but I'm geeked to get back to it and to see what I can get done here in the month of May on this forgotten full coverage. So there's that. Okay, now let's get into the actual page finish mania. And like I said, I'm going to do this snowball. So we're going to start with the smallest and work my way through. So The one that I have that I'm the closest to the page finish, and I think I could do in probably a couple of days, is Quick Stitch Day and Night. The artist is Nadia Strelkina. Preview here of what this will look like finished. And I think I checked my tracking before I started, but I didn't write anything down because that's not very helpful. I think I have about 800 stitches left to the page. So I'm going to be working on this to get the page finish. Now, Full Coverage Fanatics is having bingo in the month of May, and so I may stretch it out to 1,000 to try to, like, I may do a couple extra blocks in the next page for Full Coverage Fanatics bingo, but we'll kind of wait and see on that. I haven't played with that and figured out where things can plug in yet. So that is that, and I will finally get that page finished. That was one I started also in 2020 and don't have the page finish on yet. Okay, up next, living in this gorgeous project bag. This is from the Brass Button. And in here is my April. The artist for this one is Dittman, and these are all Heaven and Earth designs, by the way. So I have page 3 that I'm working on. And a little bit bigger of a section to do for that page, but only about 1,600 stitches. So I think 3 or 4 days could see that accomplished. So that could be potentially 2 page finishes in the first week, which would be awesome. That would be awesome. Okay, and all of these are 25 count. It's a matter of whether they are pre-gridded or not, but it's 1/1 full cross for me for full coverage, except for that Carolyn Manning, because I'm doing that one a little different. Okay, up next, living in this project bag. Now living in this project bag, I should say, because I did move it. But this is also by the Brass Button. I love her bags for my HAEDs because they are big and they've got the handle. So that's what's in there. And in here is my Alice and a Dali Dream by Jasmine Beckett-Griffith. And this is an old HAED, an old full coverage start. Also started for Mania. So I'm looking forward to working on it here again in May. And this is my last remaining of my old HAEDs, my older HAEDs, I should say, without the page finish yet. So yeah, high time. Here's where I'm starting from. I've got about 4,000 stitches to do for this page finish. So this one's going to be the bigger ask of the 3 I've shown so far. But outside of my 2022 and 2023 full coverage starts, this is the closest to a finish, so a page finish, and it's just overdue. I mean, I started this in 2017, so 6th birthday is coming up here. It's time. It's high time. And so I'm geeked. I'm really, really geeked to work on this one again. The last one is a scenario of whatever time I have left. So if I finish the page on Alice and a Dali Dream on let's say the 13th, then I will spend the next 2 days on this piece. I highly doubt that I'm going to be able to get all 4 of these page finishes because there's just too much left to do on this one, which is another brass button bag. And in here is one that has seen quite a bit of attention so far this year. This is Personal Sunshine, artwork by Jeremiah Ketner. Preview here of what this will look like finished. And for this one, I am working on page 13, and it's about 5,000 stitches to the page finish. So yeah, it's not going to happen in the first 15 days of the month, but I'm hoping that I can get at least some work into it. Get a little bit further into that page on the bottom row. That would be pretty cool. I had a plan of working on this for about 5,000 stitches each month and 600 stitches between March and April. Not great, but that's okay. It's, you know, there's only so much time. So those are the full coverage pieces that I will be working on. and the order in which I will work on them, taking breaks on Mondays for sweater weather to try to get some good progress into that one. So that will end on the 15th. I'll stop the full coverage on the 15th. And then I'm immediately going to go into Glory of Autumn because I have got to work on that earlier in the month. Saving it for the last few days is stressful. And I don't need that. I don't need that stress. So I'm going to next go into Glory of Autumn. And then it's going to be Whip Go with an asterisk. So with 6 Whip Go projects each month, it's just not possible for me to cram all 6 into the last 2 weeks of the month of May. It's just, it's unrealistic expectations. So what my plan is, 2 of them are going to be TV stitching. I mentioned in my last update video that I have my Gus's stand. And so for the first half of the month, I'm going to work on one. And whatever TV watching we do in May, I will work on that piece. And then the second half of the month, I will switch to the other piece. So that's my plan there. So let's talk about those first. The first one lives in this project bag. And so this is going to go in the Q-snap to be ready to go for Monday or Tuesday or whenever I do some TV stitching. So this is a stitch and button bag. And in here lives my January by the Cricket collection. And I'm really geeked to work on this one. I mentioned recently that at the beginning of the year, I picked one project with a birthday in each month that was going to be my focus on a finish. And these 2 pieces are those pieces for me. So if I could get this finished in those first 2 weeks, that would be really cool. I don't know if that's possible. I have a long way to go here, but I'm going to get some TV progress. So this is where I'm starting from. This is a 32 count Belfast linen in ice blue, I believe by Zweigart. So that is where I'm starting on that one. Okay, and then the second half of the month will be spent on this piece, which is also one of those pieces that I picked as a focus on a finish piece. This is also a stitch and button project bag. And in here lives the Swans by Cottage Garden Samplings. You're going to notice a theme for Whip Go for me this month. It's a lot of Cottage Garden. So this is the second in the Year in the Woods series. And I worked on this recently for its Whip birthday, but not near enough. And all of this still needs to be frogged from a previously UFO'd project. I've got a lot of that going on. This fabric is 32 count Belfast in Night's Watch by Hand Dyed by Stephanie. And again, I think it'd be cool if I could finish this in those 2 weeks, but we'll just have to wait and see. TV stitching isn't totally productive, but it's better than no stitching during that time. So that's where I'm starting on the Swans. Okay, up next, living in this stitch and button bag. This is a gorgeous, gorgeous bag. And in here is a gorgeous, gorgeous project. My Celtic Angel. This is by Barbara Batts, and I got it from the Cooler Design Studio. This one is mostly Pattern Keeper compatible. Not all of the Cooler Design Studio pieces are, but this one I was able to get into Pattern Keeper, which is nice. So this is on a 32 count Belfast linen in, I don't know if I'm going to be able to remember what this fabric is. That's okay, because I have the tag. This is Shiplap by Color and Cotton. And I started this in 2020 for Two Martini Stitcher's birthday. And so she's going to get some love. Whew. Her cheeks. Those are some rosy cheeks. This one's going to be interesting because I still don't have my metallics for this one. I might have to have a look at that and see if I can find in my stash the metallics that I want to use. It calls for DMC light effects. No, thank you. It also calls for Cryonic blending filament, which isn't so bad, but I'm gonna just sub all of that out for Petite Treasure Braid. So anyway, she's pretty, and I am so looking forward to getting into that green dress. Maybe I can do that this time. My goal for this piece is 3 days or 1,300 stitches, whichever comes first. Actually, that's true for all of these. So up next, living in this project bag, this is a Diddly Daddle Designs bag. I don't know if Diddly Daddle is still doing bags, but this is one of my favorite bags. And in here is my current Cottage Garden Samplings. What's this series called? Songbird's Garden. Wow. It's been a while. My current focus for Songbird's Garden, but I mean, I haven't focused on it in forever. But anyway, this is Promise of Spring, featuring the American Robin and the Tulips. Love this one. And I am stitching this on 32 count Belfast in Seaside by Hand Dyed by Stephanie, using the DMC conversion. And this is where I'm up to. Long way to go on this one yet. I haven't even reached the bird. So probably start working on this flower for this rotation. Oh, gorgeous, 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 gorgeous. I forget how much I love these designs. There's a lot of work in them, but they are pretty. They are really, really pretty. Okay, up next is another from the Songbird's Garden series. This is in a project bag made by Diane, Mondot Stitches. She sent me a whole bunch of bags, and I sent them out as WIPGO prizes. She told me I could keep one if I wanted to, and so I kept that one. But in here is Merry and Bright, featuring the Black-Eyed Chickadee and the Winterberry Holly. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Sammy J and I started this together. She has since finished it. I haven't worked on it since. We started this in Mania of 2020, so another Mania piece that's going to get some more attention this month. Not on its WIP birthday, but that's okay. That's all right. This is Silk Weaver Linen 32 count Belfast in Carol's Meadow. And so yeah, so that's where I'm starting from with this one. Long way to go yet on that one. And then my last WIPGO piece for the month of May, I'm so excited about. I'm hoping I can spend a bunch of time on this one. This is a stitch and button bag. And in here lives my Ragnarok by Long Dog Samplers. I'm so excited. And it is on this gorgeous fabric. This is Sweeney Red, 40 count Newcastle by Dames of the Needle. And I'm stitching it using Anchor Black. I can't wait to get back to this one. I started this one at Stitch New Jersey last summer, and I'm so excited to work on this. I hope that I find myself in a situation where I can spend some extra time with this one, because I love this piece. And I'm really excited to get into it. Every time this one pops up on the Long Dog Samplers Facebook group, I get mad jealous because I want to work on mine. So there is Ragnarok, and those are the WIPGO pieces. So I've got 5 full coverage pieces, 6 WIPGO pieces, plus Glory of Autumn, plus my monthly Quakers. I'm still working through March Quaker, so I've got a lot of catch up to do with that series. So yeah, lots of fun stuff coming up for the month of May, and I'm really excited to get into it. I hope to be back early during the week, next week, to give you an update video, my end of April update, to show you what my WIPGO boards look like, tell you if I accomplished all of my goals or not. I think I'm gonna, but you know, we'll see. And yeah, so we'll do that early in the week. But until then, and until next time, everybody, happy stitching. As always, be kind, and I will see you then.